That was it.
There's some stuff that I want to do performance-wise to make it go faster and handle better, but she's safe and sound to ride around a motocross track. So tonight what I'm going to do is finish fixing this, where they put the wrong nut on the wrong stud and just tore that up. You know, where I couldn't get that nut off that stud, and the stud just turned into Airbox. So we'll grind that out and fix that tonight, and we'll get our muffler on. So I went with the shorty because I researched what kind of pipe I actually had, and this was the Gold Series Fatty, which from what I understand is a low to mid-range RPM pipe. And I'd rather have more low to mid-range because I'm what you'd call a novice rider motocross wise right now. So it's been 25 years since I raced one. So I got one of these OEM connectors off eBay for next to nothing. The guy didn't know what they cost, and he was just getting rid of it. So I'll get that in. I'll get the muffler bolted on, and I'll fix this number plate. I've already got the new chain on it. I've already got all the lines working and all the hydraulics fixed. Engine's running, carbureting clean, idling good. Cooling system's good and flushed. Oil has been ran, test driven around the block. Don't tell the cops. But I test drove around the block a couple times, flushed the coolant and the oil. So this Sunday at Sparky's, there's a motocross track here in Georgia that's kind of an outdoor style, GP style, I think they call it, motocross track, where there's uphills, downhills, tight turns, sweepy turns, but not many jumps. There's not a lot of doubles, certainly any triples. No big giant tabletops for me to get hurt on. So I'm going to use this as my motocross coming out of retirement, if you will, because this track is not very technical. It's not a supercross style track. It's not even an outdoor motocross track like Budds Creek or whatever. It's not even like that. It's just a farm track that goes up and down the hills and around through the woods with very few jumps. So I'm going to use that to be my first race back, and that'll be a good place for me to run in the 40 plus class, 45 plus class, whatever they have, wherever they put me. But that'll be this Sunday. It's now Friday night. So let me stop talking, get this number plate situation taken care of, get this muffler bolted down, be ready to rock. But I'm not going to bother with all that. I'm just going to drill this all the way through and just rip it all the way out of the bike, and then put a whole new nut on the back side of it. Just get a longer bolt right through the airbox. Rip that brass nut, or bronze nut, whatever, brass I guess, out of that airbox. But the damage is already done, so that's what they did when they stripped it. Here we go. Yeah, see that? They just destroyed that with the wrong size thread. So I'm just going to run a bolt right through there and put a nut on the back side in the airbox. Yeah, see, I just run my little drills and grinders off my power inverter in my van. The power inverters you guys buy at Pep Boys and Walmart won't run power tools. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm just going to drill a hole right through the airbox plastic. Being careful not to poke your air filter on the inside. I already tested that off camera to make sure that wouldn't happen. And then this is the hardware setup I'm going to use. Oh, still got some of Job's dog hairs in the van. Rest his old precious soul, my old Labrador. But I got this bolt that's pretty long with this stepped washer to take up the plastic. That's what goes in the number plate. This washer will live inside the airbox. And then I chose a nut that had a plastic lock retention on it. There's a good chance of this vibrating loose and coming apart, so I didn't use a regular nut. I grabbed a nut that's got the the lock, plastic lock in it. So let me get it installed and show you what it looks like. Guys, there's the muffler installed. And again, I put a lock nut on that back of that one. And there's the inside stud nut for the number plate. So, all right, next little challenge is to get this superseded, supposed to fit, guaranteed to fit from Suzuki strap onto this frame bar here. Wonder if I could just go hokey and just do it backwards. Yeah, probably could. Let's see how hokey we want to get here. I mean, it's obviously supposed to go that way and hook on like that. But I don't know if we can do it quickly tonight without grinding this down. I got the grinder out. Maybe I should just do it. I hate to grind into his blue, and I hate to also grind all around that air filter. Maybe for tonight we'll just go hokey. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna have to do for tonight. Later on, when I have the bike apart again, for whatever reason, I'll grind that tab thinner and make this fit. Daggum Suzuki. But yeah, that's how we're gonna have to do it just for now. And it's bolted on up here too, so that tank's not going anywhere. It's bolted down in multiple places. I'm gonna go to the track early Saturday night, right after work, and just walk around and meet people, and then get a good night's sleep and wake up and do my thing Sunday. But I do want to get there early, and I do want to walk around and meet people and socialize, so I don't want to load up tomorrow night after work. But guys, thank you for following me through this journey. It's been an honor and a privilege to put this bike together with you guys. I've thoroughly enjoyed the walk down memory lane. For some of you guys seeing this for the first time, I hope it was a blessing to you. I hope that hope you learned something from this. And for some of those that have known me for years and maybe didn't learn as much, you know, maybe it's just a reminder of what we're in this for. You know, God loves you. I love you. God bless you. Okay guys, here's a neat little trick I'm going to try out just to try to get a uniform look to the plastic. See how these old graphics and decals were kind of, you know, it just looks different. There's different surfaces. That's where the dirt and the sun and all was fading and beating up on it, and this is where the graphics were. So I just sprayed this fender down with, you know it, WD-40. They really ought to sponsor me. I know they're not, but they ought to, much as I plug the stuff. But look, I just sprayed it over that fender, and I'm sanding this with 220. It's a fairly fine paper, you know, and it's just cleaning up some of the muck, you know. See where the graphics edge was? Some of that was rough, some of that was clean. You just make it look uniform. You're just sanding it with that penetrating oil with a fine sandpaper. Watch this, fold it over, go down in those nooks and crannies like that. See that? Just go down in there like that. You just kind of making it look uniform, you know. You're not trying to polish it or go crazy. I mean, unless that's your thing. If that's your thing, by all means, that's your thing, do it. But it ain't my thing. Anybody knows me knows cosmetics is not my main priority. Not in the house I live in or in the bikes I ride. Anybody that knows me, whether they respect my speed and my championships and my success or not, they will tell you that cosmetics are not my priority. So I will not ever spend a lot of time on something like doing this. But I'll spend a few minutes on it. You know, I'll spend a little time. Just a little bit. I mean, it's not real hard to do what I'm doing here. But, you know, it's just like, see, that's a spot I missed, you know. But it's just, this came out a lot better than it was. This, you know, this came out better than it was. It's not perfect. Oh, that's hilarious. Let's face the camera towards the motorcycle. Let's start the whole conversation all over completely. Let's not. But look, it just looks better. You know, this is WD-40 that'll come up. See that? That's WD-40 floating up out of the water. That'll come off if I wipe it with a rag. Let's go ahead and do that. Switch camera hands here. Let's just wipe it with a rag and see what it does. Yeah, it's got a dull look to it from the sandpaper scratching all over it. But that's okay because all of it is not shiny, only the part that was under the graphics. So I'd rather the whole bike look slightly dull and uniform than have shiny spots and not shiny spots. Let's fire it up and listen to what it sounds like with that muffler. Let's see what it sounds like with the Shorty 2 silencer in place. Kicks a lot easier now that it's, you know, running correctly and all the extra oil's burned out and it's broke in, and it's just a lot easier to live with now. That was first kick on a cold engine. I had not restarted that. Everybody probably thinks, oh, he warmed it up before he got home from work. No, no, no. That's a cold kick. It fired right up. It's about 81, 82 degrees, a little bit humid in Georgia. So I got it dialed in just about where I want it, perfect. How's that sound? A lot quieter with a muffler, huh? Yeah, I'm happy.